The stars looked peaceful in the dark space near the Vega system, but peace was about to end very soon. 3 massive alien fleets moved slowly through the empty space. Each fleet was huge and powerful. The ships were like floating cities made of metal and energy. Their weapons could destroy entire planets in minutes. Admiral Zex of the Kralian Empire stood on his command bridge. His red skin glowed with pride as he looked at his fleet. "Look at these beautiful ships," he said to his officers. "We are the strongest military force in the galaxy." His second officer nodded. "Yes, Admiral. Our plasma cannons can cut through any armor. No one can stop us." On another ship, Admiral Thyra of the Serpent Coalition was also feeling proud. Her snake-like body moved smoothly as she watched her fleet's formation. "Perfect," she hissed. "My bioships are ready for war. Their acid weapons will melt any enemy." The third fleet belonged to Commander Vortex of the Machine Collective. His robotic voice buzzed through the speakers. "All systems ready. My battle cruisers have the best shields and missiles in known space." These 3 fleets were meeting for the first time. They were not friends, but they were not enemies either. Today, they wanted to show each other their military power. Each leader thought their fleet was the strongest. "Kralians," Admiral Thyra called over the radio. "Your ships look old and slow." Admiral Zex laughed. "Serpents always talk big, but your bioships are weak against energy weapons." Commander Vortex's mechanical voice joined in. "Both of you are wrong. Only machines can fight perfectly. We never get tired or scared." The 3 leaders were arguing about who was strongest when something strange happened. "Sir," shouted a Kralian officer. "Unknown ship detected." Admiral Zex turned to his screen. "Where?" "Coming from the Sol system, sir. It's very small." All 3 fleets turned their sensors toward the new ship. What they saw made them laugh. It was a human ship. The ship was tiny compared to their massive war vessels. It looked simple and basic. No fancy weapons, no special armor. Just a small gray ship floating alone in space. Humans? Admiral Thyra laughed so hard she almost fell down. "Those weak little creatures?" Commander Vortex made a sound like mechanical laughter. "One human ship against 3 of the strongest fleets in the galaxy." Admiral Zex wiped tears from his eyes. "This is the best joke I have heard in years." "What are they thinking?" The human ship sent a simple message. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Horizon, requesting peaceful passage through this sector." The 3 alien admirals looked at each other through their video screens. They could not believe what they were hearing. "Peaceful passage," Admiral Zex said. "Through our military meeting?" "The nerve of these humans," Admiral Thyra hissed. "They think they can just fly wherever they want." Commander Vortex's red eyes glowed brighter. "Humans are known for being stupid. This proves it." The human captain sent another message. "We understand you are conducting military exercises. We will change course if needed." This made the aliens even angrier. "Military exercises?" Admiral Zex stood up from his chair. "We are showing our real power here. These humans need to learn respect," Admiral Thyra said. Her fangs showed when she smiled. "Maybe it's time to teach them a lesson." Commander Vortex agreed. "My databases show humans are weak. Their technology is 200 years behind ours. One shot from any of our ships will destroy them." Admiral Zex looked at the small human ship on his screen. It just sat there waiting quietly. "You know what? This is perfect timing." "What do you mean?" Admiral Thyra asked. "We were arguing about who has the strongest fleet," Admiral Zex said. "Let's test our weapons on this human ship. We can see whose fleet kills it fastest." The other 2 admirals loved this idea. "Excellent," Commander Vortex said. "My missiles will destroy it in seconds." "My acid cannons will melt it first," Admiral Thyra argued. "Both of you are too slow," Admiral Zex laughed. "My plasma beams will win." The 3 fleets began to move into attack positions. Thousands of weapons pointed at the small human ship. The aliens were excited. This would be fun and easy. Captain Chen's voice came over the radio one more time. "Please reconsider." "We do not want any trouble." Admiral Zex smiled widely. "Too late, human. You flew into the wrong place at the wrong time." The alien ships powered up their weapons. Energy hummed through the darkness of space. The human ship still did not move. "All ships," Admiral Zex commanded. "Prepare to fire on my order." Admiral Thyra's voice was full of joy. "This will show the galaxy what happens when you disrespect real military power." Commander Vortex calculated the attack. Target locked. Human ship has no chance of survival. Admiral Zex raised his hand, ready to give the final order. The 3 strongest fleets in the galaxy were about to destroy one small human ship. Attack the human ship, Admiral Zex shouted. Show them real power. To be continued. The space around the Vega system became very dangerous very quickly. Admiral Zex's hand was still raised in the air. His red face showed pure excitement. Fire warning shots first, he commanded. Let's scare them before we destroy them. Bright energy beams shot out from the Kralian fleet. Blue and white plasma bolts flew past the human ship. The shots were close but did not hit. They lit up the darkness like deadly fireworks. Inside the human ship, alarms should have been going off. The crew should have been panicking. But the small vessel just floated there, completely still. Admiral Thyra watched through her screen. Look at them, she laughed. They are probably crying with fear right now. Her bioships fired next. Green acid projectiles whooshed past the human vessel. The toxic shots glowed as they flew by. If they had hit anything, they would have melted metal like butter. Commander Vortex's mechanical voice buzzed. My turn. His robot ships launched silver missiles. They streaked past the human ship and exploded far behind it. The explosions were huge and bright. All 3 alien fleets waited for the human response. They expected panic. They expected screaming radio messages. They expected the humans to beg for mercy. Instead, Captain Sarah Chen's calm voice came over the radio. Her tone was steady and peaceful. This is your last chance to leave this area peacefully. The alien commanders could not believe their ears. Admiral Zex's mouth dropped open. Did she just threaten us? Admiral Thyra's snake-like body shook with laughter. 3 of the most powerful fleets in the galaxy, and 1 tiny human ship tells us to leave. Commander Vortex ran the situation through his computer brain. This does not compute. Humans should be terrified. They should be running away, but Captain Chen continued speaking. Her voice was still calm. We do not wish to harm anyone. Please move your fleets away from this sector. Harm us. Admiral Zex could not stop laughing. 1 small ship wants to harm 3 entire fleets. The alien officers on all the ships were laughing too. Some were rolling on the floor. Others were wiping tears from their eyes. This was the funniest thing they had ever seen. Captain Chen, Admiral Thyra spoke into her radio, trying not to laugh. Do you know who we are? Yes, came the reply. I know exactly who you are. Admiral Zex decided to explain, thinking the humans were confused. I am Admiral Zex of the Kralian Empire. My fleet has 500 warships. Each one can destroy a moon. Admiral Thyra joined in. I am Admiral Thyra of the Serpent Coalition. My bioships carry weapons that can eat through any armor in minutes. Commander Vortex's voice was full of mechanical pride. I am Commander Vortex of the Machine Collective. My ships are powered by quantum reactors. We are unstoppable. There was silence for a moment. Then Captain Chen spoke again. Impressive. Now please leave. The alien commanders looked at each other through their video screens. They had never met anyone this brave or this stupid. Okay, that's enough, Admiral Zex said. Time to end this joke. All ships, target the human vessel. Thousands of weapons turned toward the small Earth ship. Energy hummed through space as the alien fleets powered up their deadliest weapons. The darkness around the human ship began to glow with targeting lasers. Human ship, Commander Vortex announced. You have 10 seconds to surrender. 5 seconds, Admiral Thyra added. Time's up, Admiral Zex declared. All fleets, open fire! The attack was amazing and terrible. Plasma beams, acid cannons, and quantum missiles all fired at the same time. The space around the human ship exploded with light and energy. It looked like a small star had been born. The explosion was so bright that it hurt to look at. The energy was so powerful that it shook all the alien ships. For several seconds, no one could see anything but white light. When the light faded, the alien commanders expected to see empty space. They expected the human ship to be completely gone, destroyed, vaporized, nothing left but space dust. But what they saw made their blood run cold. The human ship was still there. It had not moved even 1 inch. There was no damage on its hull, no scorch marks, no broken pieces floating around. It looked exactly the same as before, perfect, untouched, impossible. Admiral Zex's red face turned pale. That's not possible. Admiral Thyra's voice was a whisper. Our weapons hit it directly. I saw them hit. Commander Vortex's computer brain tried to process what had happened. Error. This result should not exist. The human ship sat in the darkness, surrounded by the fading energy of the massive attack. Captain Chen's voice came over the radio one more time, but now her tone was different. It was not calm and peaceful anymore. It was cold. It was dangerous. Interesting, Captain Chen said. Now it's our turn. The silence in space was terrifying. Captain Chen's words hung in the darkness like a death sentence. Now it's our turn. The three alien fleets waited, but nothing happened. The human ship just floated there looking small and harmless. Admiral Zex stared at his screens. His hands were shaking. What is she planning? He whispered. Admiral Thyra's snake-like tongue flicked out nervously. Maybe it was just a lucky shield boost. Humans cannot really hurt us. Commander Vortex ran scan after scan on the human ship. I detect no weapon systems, no energy buildup, no missile tubes, nothing. But then something strange began to happen. The human ship started to glow. It was very soft at first, like moonlight on water. The glow was blue and white, and it pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. What is that light? Admiral Zex asked his science officer. Unknown, sir. My scanners cannot identify the energy type. The glow grew brighter. It spread out from the human ship like ripples in a pond. The light moved through space in all directions, reaching toward the alien fleets. Admiral Thyra felt scared for the first time in years. All ships raised shields to maximum power. Her bioships glowed green as their organic shields activated. The Kralian ships shimmered with blue energy barriers. The machine collective ships covered themselves with quantum force fields. But the strange light from the human ship passed right through all the shields. It did not hurt anyone. It just touched each alien ship gently and moved on. That's it? Admiral Zex laughed, feeling relief. Some pretty lights. That's the human secret weapon? Commander Vortex agreed. Humans are even weaker than our data suggested. Admiral Thyra hissed with pleasure. Time to finish this. All ships prepare for another attack. But then Admiral Zex noticed something wrong. Wait, my weapons are not responding. He pressed the fire button again. Nothing happened. He tried the emergency systems. Still nothing. Sir, his weapons officer called out in panic. All plasma cannons are offline. I cannot restart them. Admiral Thyra was having the same problem. My acid weapons will not fire. The biosystems are not responding to my commands. Commander Vortex's mechanical voice showed confusion for the first time. This is impossible. My weapons have quantum processors. They cannot be stopped by any known technology. But they were wrong. One by one, every weapon on every alien ship stopped working. Missiles would not launch. Energy cannons would not charge. Even the smallest guns became silent. How is this happening? Admiral Zex demanded. His science officer was staring at his screen in horror. Sir, the human energy pulse. It did something to our weapons. They are still there, but they will not work. Then use the backup systems. Admiral Thyra shouted. They are offline too, Admiral. All of them. The alien fleets tried everything. They reset their computers. They switched to manual controls. They even tried to fire weapons by hand. Nothing worked. Captain Chen's voice came over the radio again. She still sounded calm and peaceful. Your weapons are temporarily disabled. This is your last chance to leave peacefully. Admiral Zex was angry and scared. All ships, retreat to safe distance. We need to figure out what happened. But when the ships tried to move, another terrible discovery waited for them. Admiral, his pilot called out. The engines are not working either. What? Admiral Zex ran to the engine controls. He pressed every button. Nothing happened. The ship was stuck in space. Admiral Thyra's bioships tried to move using their organic engines. The living ships flapped their wing-like parts, but they could not move forward. Commander Vortex attempted to activate his quantum drives. The powerful engines that could cross galaxies in days would not even start. This is impossible, Commander Vortex said. Quantum engines cannot be stopped. They exist in multiple dimensions. All three fleets were trapped. They could not fight, and they could not run away. Captain Chen spoke again. I tried to warn you. Humans always prefer peace, but you would not listen. The human ship began to glow brighter. This time the light was different. It was not soft and gentle. It was hard and dangerous, like lightning trapped in glass. Admiral Zex watched his shield readings drop to 0. No, this cannot be happening. Admiral Thyra saw her bioship's organic armor starting to crack. How is one small ship doing this to us? Commander Vortex's computer brain could not understand the readings. The human ship is generating more power than our 3 fleets combined. Then the worst thing happened. The alien ships began to shake. Metal started to crack. Bioarmor began to peel away. Quantum shields collapsed completely. Admiral Zex's flagship shook so hard that officers fell to the floor. All ships, emergency retreat! But his communications officer had terrible news. Sir, our engines are completely dead. We cannot move at all. Admiral Thyra watched in horror as her first bioship broke apart. It split down the middle like a cracked egg. The pieces floated away into space. My beautiful ships, she whispered. More ships began to break apart. The Kralian vessels cracked like ice. The bioships dissolved like sugar in water. The machine ships simply fell apart piece by piece. In 10 minutes, Admiral Zex's entire fleet was gone. 500 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy had become floating scrap metal. Captain Chen's voice was sad but firm. I am sorry it came to this. Admiral Thyra and Commander Vortex stared at their screens. They watched the remains of the Kralian fleet drift through space. 2 fleets down, Captain Chen said quietly. 1 more to go, to be continued. The remains of Admiral Zex's fleet floated through space like broken toys. 500 mighty warships had become nothing but scrap metal and memories. Admiral Thyra and Commander Vortex stared at their screens in complete shock. Their snake and robot brains could not process what they had just seen. This cannot be real, Admiral Thyra whispered. Her forked tongue trembled with fear. 1 human ship destroyed an entire Kralian fleet in minutes. Commander Vortex's red eyes flickered rapidly. His computer brain was working at maximum speed, trying to understand. My calculations show this is impossible. Humans do not have this technology. The human ship continued to glow softly in the darkness. Captain Chen's calm voice came over the radio. Admiral Thyra, Commander Vortex, you still have time to leave peacefully. Admiral Thyra's fear quickly turned to rage. Leave. Her voice became a dangerous hiss. You just murdered 500 ships full of innocent soldiers. Your weapons disabled their life support, Commander Vortex added. His mechanical voice was cold with anger. Thousands of Kralians are dead. Captain Chen's response surprised them. Check your senses again. Admiral Thyra looked at her bioscanners. Commander Vortex ran a deep space scan. What they found made no sense. The Kralian life pods, Admiral Thyra said slowly. They are all intact. Every single one. Commander Vortex confirmed the readings. All Kralian crew members are alive and safe in their emergency pods. No deaths detected, Captain Chen explained gently. We destroyed the ships, not the people. Every crew member was safely transported to life pods before their vessels broke apart. Admiral Thyra's mind reeled. You transported 500,000 soldiers to safety in seconds, while destroying their ships? How is that possible? Humans value life, Captain Chen replied. Even enemy life. But this kindness only made the 2 alien commanders more angry, not grateful. You think this changes anything? Admiral Thyra screamed. You still attacked us. You still destroyed a fleet. Commander Vortex agreed. Humans must pay for this aggression. All ships, combine our fleets and attack. The remaining 2 fleets moved together. Bioships merged with machine vessels. Organic weapons linked with quantum systems. It was the most powerful military force ever assembled. We have 800 ships left, Admiral Thyra declared. Our combined firepower can crack planets in half. Commander Vortex's voice was full of confidence. Quantum bioweapons are unstoppable. No shield can resist them. The merged fleet formed a perfect attack formation. Every weapon pointed at the small human ship. The space around them hummed with deadly energy. Fire everything! Both commanders shouted at the same time. The attack was beyond imagination. Bioacid mixed with quantum missiles. Plasma beams combined with organic lightning. Energy so powerful that it lit up nearby star systems. The explosion was massive. It created a small sun in the middle of space. The blast was so bright that both alien fleets had to close their sensors to avoid damage. For 30 seconds, there was nothing but white-hot energy where the human ship had been. The aliens cheered and celebrated. Finally, Admiral Thyra laughed. Nothing could survive that attack. Commander Vortex calculated the damage. Energy output was equivalent to exploding a small moon. The human ship is completely vaporized. They waited for the energy cloud to clear. They expected to see empty space. They expected victory. They expected to go home as heroes who destroyed the mysterious human threat. But when the light faded, their celebration died in their throats. The human ship was still there, still perfect, still undamaged. "No," Admiral Thyra whispered. "No, no, no." Commander Vortex's computer brain nearly crashed trying to process the impossible sight. Error, error. This violates all known laws of physics. The human ship had not moved even a tiny bit. There were no scorch marks on its hull, no cracks in its armor. It looked exactly the same as before. Captain Chen's voice came over the radio. She sounded disappointed, like a teacher whose students had failed a test. "Is that all?" she asked quietly. The simple question hit the alien commanders like a physical blow. "All?" Admiral Thyra's voice cracked. "We just hit you with the most powerful attack in galactic history. Our combined fleets used enough energy to destroy a planet," Commander Vortex added. His mechanical voice was shaking. Captain Chen sighed sadly. "And you still do not understand." Both alien fleets tried to retreat. They fired their engines at maximum power. But nothing happened. The ships would not move. "Engines offline," Admiral Thyra's pilot reported. "All movement systems are dead." Commander Vortex tried his quantum drives. "Propulsion systems are not responding. We are trapped." The realization hit them like ice water. They were stuck in space with a ship they could not hurt and could not escape from. Captain Chen's voice carried a note of finality. "You have failed every test. You attacked without reason. You ignored peaceful warnings. You chose violence over wisdom." The human ship began to glow again, but this time the light was different. It was not blue and gentle. It was red and angry. "Time to end this," Captain Chen said. "To be continued." The red glow around the human ship grew brighter and more dangerous. Admiral Thyra and Commander Vortex watched in terror as their worst nightmare was about to begin. "Please," Admiral Thyra begged over the radio. "We surrender. Do not destroy us." Commander Vortex's proud mechanical voice was now filled with fear. "We were wrong to attack. Mercy, please." But Captain Chen's response shocked them completely. "I am not going to destroy you," she said calmly. "I am going to show you the truth." Suddenly, the space around the human ship began to shimmer and bend. The small vessel started to grow larger and larger and larger. Admiral Thyra's biosensors went crazy. "What is happening?" "The ship is expanding." Commander Vortex's computer brain could not process the readings. "Impossible. Ships cannot change size." But they were wrong. The human ship was not growing. It was revealing its true form. What they had thought was a small ship was just the tip of something massive. Like an iceberg hiding underwater, the real vessel had been hidden from their senses. The full ship was enormous. It was bigger than both alien fleets combined. It was longer than a small moon and taller than a mountain. Weapons covered every surface. Energy reactors glowed like captured stars. "By the old gods," Admiral Thera whispered. "It is a fortress, a flying fortress." Commander Vortex ran scan after scan. The ship is 15 kilometers long, 8 kilometers wide. Mass equals a small planet. This is not possible. Captain Chen's voice came from the massive warship. "This is the Earth Defense Ship Horizon. What you saw before was just our communication pod." The alien commanders stared at the monster ship floating before them. Every weapon on their fleets could not scratch something so huge and powerful. "How long has this ship been here?" Admiral Thyra asked in a small voice. "We arrived 3 hours before your fleets," Captain Chen replied. "We have been watching everything." Commander Vortex's mechanical mind was spinning. "You are hiding." "Studying us." "Yes," Captain Chen confirmed. "This meeting was not an accident. We knew you would come here." Admiral Thyra felt sick. "You planned this. All of it." Captain Chen's voice became serious and sad. "For 50 years, Earth has been watching the galaxy. We have seen how the major powers behave. We have seen the wars, the slavery, the destroyed planets." The truth began to dawn on the alien commanders. "The Galactic Council said humans were weak," Commander Vortex said slowly. "They said you had primitive technology." "We let them believe that," Captain Chen explained. "We wanted to see what kind of neighbors we would have. We wanted to know if the galaxy could be trusted with the truth about human capabilities." Admiral Thyra's snake-like body trembled. What truth? Captain Chen paused for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was heavy with disappointment. The truth is that humans have been spacefaring for over 300 years. We have technology that most species cannot imagine. We have ships that can cross the galaxy in hours. We have weapons that can move stars. Commander Vortex's red eyes dimmed. Then why hide? Why pretend to be weak? Because we hoped, Captain Chen said sadly. We hoped that other species could learn to be peaceful. We hoped that showing weakness would make others show mercy and kindness. Admiral Thyra understood now. But we failed your test. Every species failed, Captain Chen confirmed. The Kralians attacked weak colonies. The serpents enslaved entire planets. The machines conquered and destroyed. Every major power in the galaxy chose violence over peace. The weight of this revelation crushed both alien commanders. What happens now? Commander Vortex asked. Captain Chen was quiet for a moment. Then she gave them an answer that changed everything. Now Earth moves to Phase 2 of our galactic integration plan. What is Phase 2? Admiral Thera whispered. For 50 years we stayed hidden and watched. Phase 1 was observation and testing. You all failed. Captain Chen's voice became firm and final. Phase 2 is intervention. The massive human ship began to move. Other ships appeared around it. Dozens of them, then hundreds. All the same massive size, all bristling with unimaginable weapons. This is Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Fleet, Captain Chen announced. We are taking control of this sector for the protection of innocent species. Admiral Thyra and Commander Vortex watched in horror as the human fleet surrounded them completely. Your fleets will be escorted home, Admiral Chen continued. Your governments will receive new treaties. The age of galactic warfare is over. Commander Vortex asked the question both aliens were thinking. And if we refuse? Admiral Chen's answer was simple and terrifying. Then you will discover what humans are really capable of when we stop being patient. The human ships activated tractor beams. The alien fleets were gently but firmly captured. As they were pulled toward the human vessels, Admiral Thyra realized the horrible truth. Humans had never been the prey in this galaxy. They had always been the predators waiting and watching. And now the hunt was over. Recommendation transmitted to Earth Command, Admiral Chen said quietly to her crew. Humanity is ready for the next phase. The stars themselves seemed to tremble at those words. The end.